Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm Peri Lyons, and the show is Peri Lyons, New York Celebrity Psychic, and I'm here to help you. I mean, I can't do surgery or anything, but aside from that, so I'm hoping you'll call in with questions. Answers would be fine too, but that's my job. I'm going to start out before we take calls by doing the psychic weather, which I do by pulling 3 tarot cards that kind of indicate both the zeitgeist, which is the general what's going on in the world, but they also indicate sort of what's coming up for all of us internally and externally this week. Right before I do that, I've been talking to a lot of clients, luckily, this week, and you know how sometimes a pop song will get stuck in your head? So this week, I've been talking to a lot of people who are in relationships or want to be in a relationship with somebody where they feel that they have to earn this person's love. And I keep singing, I'll just do 2 lines of this. You know that song? I can't make you love me if you don't. I can't make your heart feel something it won't. Anyway, so the Bonnie Raitt song, it's a little masochistic, but as a friend of mine once said, I'd rather be a masochist than never be kissed at all. So here's the thing. Love doesn't have to be earned. If you're you, I'd like to give you this invisible permission slip. It's not from your mom to your gym teacher saying that you're, and it's not forged, but it's an invisible permission slip I'm going to hand you, right? Okay, there you go. This permission slip is to love yourself. Just love yourself. It's actually easier than you think. And a lot of it is forgiving yourself. The word forgive comes from 2 Greek words. It means to let go. So today what I'd like you to come away with is the idea that in this moment, you're allowed to just love yourself. Because no matter what you think, you are beautiful. You are really special. There's never been anybody like you and never will be. I can hear my mom saying in the next term, in your case, that might be a good thing. Kidding. We love each other. But to just love yourself, because the minute you give yourself permission to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to drop everything I'm holding against myself. I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to love myself because I'm worth it. And besides, this is who I am. You might as well be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Okay, so we're going to do the psychic weather for the week, and I pull these very randomly. Okay, and the first card. Oh, that's nice. Many people are afraid of the death card. And the death card it's scary. In this case, it's upside down. The death card almost, unless there's certain cards around it, and then they're very specific. Oh, in a second, we'll be getting to our first caller, Sharon in Washougal, Washington. Cool. Hi, Sharon. Okay. So the death card almost never, ever, ever means death. What it means is either that something is an end or that something you thought was at an end is starting over. There's a deep transformation going on for the good. So in this case, we welcome in a new president today, which I'm very pleased about. And I think that there's a lot of hope and a lot of optimism that we can be the shining beacon on the hill, as America has always been, to immigrants like my grandparents and probably your grandparents. So there's that. Oh, and in your own life, look for a renewed sense of optimism. This also means that perhaps I hate saying this after what I just saying, but perhaps something you thought was completely over might not be. It's coming back transformed. So that's something to think about. The King of Wands is, in a big sense, it matches with the inauguration. I don't actually know what President Biden's sign is, but it means that in the bigger sense, a man of justice and action is coming in to kind of take actions for the good of all. In your own life, I would look for men who is there to help you. He might be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or Aries. But he's there to sort of help you out, straighten things out. He's on your side. And he might be kind of an outgoing guy. But so, and I actually get a sense that this is in our professional lives as well as in our personal lives. I'm not ruling out personal lives, but I think that there's some help at hand. So I just love doing that. This card is interesting because it looks gloomy, but it's not. What it is 5 is always a number, the 5 of Cups, indicating change. And I don't know if you know that medically, when a bone is broken, it always heals strongest at the break. So 5 is sort of the break and then the healing that makes things stronger. And you'll see in your own life, you might be looking at the 3 spilled cups. You know, maybe you might be mourning something or thinking like, oh, it's over, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too thin, I'm too short. But if you turn around, there are 2 filled golden cups right in front of you. Well, if you turn around, they'll be right in front of you. So it's time to stop maybe identifying as a victim. It's time to stop mourning something. I mean, obviously, if you've lost something, but there are times to just say, okay, you know what? I'm not a depressive anymore. I'm somebody who is rewriting my story. There's 2 full golden cups there. And if I just sit and stare at the 3 cups that have spilled over, it's not going to do any good. But if I turn around and look at the possibilities, there's so much there for me. This especially applies to love because those are 2 cups. So if you've given up in love, don't give up, okay? And I think in a bigger sense, this means that a lot of things that maybe we've been upset or despairing over, things are getting better. So, okay. Miss Washington, darling, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you for hanging in there. How are you?
Good. I don't get along with my son-in-law, but I don't know if there's any hope for him to change. I'd like to think that I meet him halfway. His name's Corbett. Yeah.
Well, tell you what, tell me what your birthday is, because that's how I connect with people. So just the day and yeah, go ahead.
September 21st.
Cool. Well, that's a lovely day. Here's the thing. Weirdly, the only way we can change people is by not trying to change them, especially with somebody with your son-in-law, who just between you and me is a stubborn SOB. And he has good qualities. He does. I think one thing I found in my own life is, for instance, I have a sister-in-law that, frankly, I don't get on with. I have found that if I spend 2 weeks either spending like 5 minutes praying, if you're a believer in the big love, or just meditating and sending her good wishes, or him, in this case, him, just praying for his highest good, his happiness, his health, just for 2 weeks, that can really perform miraculous changes. The other thing is, he kind of knows how to get your goat he's very good at picking fights and making you look wrong. Am I right?
Yeah, my daughter is like getting mad at me, and I'm like, hey, I'm just here to see the grandkids.
Yeah. This is somebody I sense who I think he had a very difficult childhood. That's not an excuse. I know a lot of people have had difficult childhoods who are lovely people, but he's always in what I think of as fight or flight mode. So he's always like primed for an argument. And he likes blaming other people. And it's very difficult for your daughter because he does make her feel as though she has to choose between him, and you. And that's not a place you want to be in. So what I would do is, it's very hard in this case, but try not to participate in his story, by which I mean try not to argue with him when he's picking a fight. Change the subject, or just smile and go to a different part of the room and go make banana cake or something. Don't participate. And none of this is your fault, just so you know. But there's a great book called How to Deal with Difficult People. I got it in hardback, and I thought maybe I could just hit them over the head with this. But it's a very useful book. I'm going to draw a couple of cards for you and see what's going on here. Does his name begin with an M? Dear?
What?
Does his name begin with an M?
No, his name is Corbett.
Okay, I couldn't have gotten that in a million years. All right, well, maybe it's Mr. Corbett. Okay, well, I'm not always wrong. I'm not often wrong, but yeah, the Page of Swords says to me that this is somebody who's always up for a fight. As you see, this is a young man who is primed for action. And he's also not working to his capacity. He's got a job that doesn't fully... Oh, I'm a little stuck here, so forgive me if I'm stuck on your screen. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Sorry, the picture's stuck. So the other thing is, the Temperance card upside down means that he might... how can I say this? Does he drink or use any substances?
He drinks a lot in his room, and he smokes marijuana.
Okay, yeah, people think marijuana is, I realize this is not a popular opinion. I don't think it is. It's called self-medicating. There we go. Yeah. And yes. I think he drinks a lot, and I think he's what's known as a mean drunk. So I'm sorry about that. He has a lot of childhood issues. The Judgment card upside down. There's a lot of childhood issues that he hasn't dealt with. And for some reason, I don't know if he's got issues with his mother or with women in general, but he's taking it out on you. He's making you what we call a scapegoat. What?
I've always told that to my boyfriend. I said, he's mad at his mom for whatever happened as a kid, and she died when he was a kid.
Yeah.
But he's blaming me for it or taking it out on me is what I thought.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're very intuitive, and you're very compassionate. In this case, we're women, so we're used to doing more of the work than is actually fair. Sorry, but it's true. What I feel like, are they expecting another child? If there's another child coming in, are they expecting another child?
They have 3. One is not his, the first one. But as far as I know, they're not, but I always suspected they might have another one.
They're going to have another one. You're pretty psychic, by the way, so you know.
I meditate. I don't know what that does for people.
Meditation is the best thing you can do. I meditate twice a day, and I recommend it to everybody. No wonder I like you so much. You're such a lovely vibe. So I think things are going to get better by the time, there's a thing called Al-Anon. It's Al-Anon. They have online meetings. Sometimes I found also with the sister-in-law I had trouble with. I would go to an Al-Anon meeting online because it's for people who have to deal with active alcoholics. He is an alcoholic. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. But my feeling is he's really self-medicating a lot. He's still in a lot of pain with unresolved anger at his mother for leaving him so young. This is fixable. If he wants to fix it, I think he thinks he's just fine. But there are going to be some issues in the next 6 to 9 months which say to me that he is going to realize he needs some help. You might actually wind up doing an intervention, which is always difficult. But I think this is eventually going to get better. What I would do is remain as neutral as you can. You're a Libra. You're good at that. And send him as much love, especially for the next 2 weeks. Just put him in your prayer, send him love. After you stop meditating, there's that 3 minutes, and you just send love, especially to people. So you might want to do that. And you're going to be fine. But I think this is going to work out. Be patient. You're a lovely person. And everybody around you, including your daughter, knows that this has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. So if he starts to pick a fight, you don't want to buy into his narrative. Because his narrative is, you're this, or you're that, or you're always telling people what to do, or you have 2 feet, or, whatever. People, especially alcoholics and people who use substances, tend to blame other people and scapegoat them. So if he starts to do that, just step out of the line of fire. Don't say anything. Go to a different room. You beautiful grandbabies. So, anyway, so best of luck. Let me know how you're doing, okay? I'm at Peri Lyons, Perilyons, on Facebook. Just drop me a line and let me know how you're doing. Okay. And big love. And now we have Lois. Hi, Lois. I love that name.
Hi.
How are you today? Hi.
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Good. Not too bad considering. Thanks. So I like to connect with people by having them tell me their birthday. So when's your birthday, my love?
Lois, and it's November 22nd, 1965.
Oh, how interesting. We're getting a lot of 22nds today. And you're just a baby. 22nd in numerology, that's a 4. And that means that you're somebody people find to be a kind of a healing presence. And also you're very good at making houses into homes. So if you could come over and do my place, I'd be really grateful. But you just have that touch where you're just good at that. You're really good at making. You're very family oriented too. So what's your question, my angel? How can I help you?
Relationship, love.
Never heard that before. Well, interestingly, there are 2 people in your life. You vixen, you. But one of them I don't think you know about. There's somebody around you who has a crush on you the size of Ontario, which is a big crush. I think it might be somebody you work with, but it's definitely somebody around you who has a crush on you. You've been in an on and off relationship for a couple of years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the song that I sang at the beginning of the show kind of comes into play here, where you keep feeling that you have to earn this guy's affection. And since I'm an empath as well as a psychic medium, I can tell you, you don't have to earn anything from anybody. You're a lovely person, and you're a good person. You help people. You're the person people call when they're in trouble or they need a shoulder to cry on. In fact, I'm going to send you a shirt with terry cloth like pads because people cry on your shoulder so often. Let me draw a couple of cards on this guy. Can you tell me either what day his birthday is or what sign he is?
So actually, the one that's been off and on is January 26th, 77.
Oh, an Aquarius. Oh, you're asking for trouble right there. Okay. That's interesting. Does he have his own, does he freelance or have his own business or something like that?
No, he works at a company up here.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Another one.
Yeah.
There's another one from my past that I just seen recently, and he kind of like works for another company, but they go to place to place.
That's the one. Him I like, and because we're girls, we always like the one who doesn't like us quite as much as, I don't know. It's human nature. So yeah, it's the one who sort of there's almost a freelance aspect to his job. Him I like. This sign, it's about upside down. It's the Page of Swords. Does this guy have kids? The Aquarius? I don't know if you heard the question, but I'm gonna say the other one's a better bet. The Aquarius, you've got the any card that's a person and a sword means that either they're an actual knight or they're an air sign. And Aquarius is an air sign. So this would indicate an air sign, but it's upside down. So that doesn't bode well. That means that you're always going to be sort of playing reach, withdraw with him. You reach towards him, he withdraws, or he reaches towards you when you withdraw, but that gets exhausting. I'm not sure he's emotionally mature enough for you. I do like the other guy better because A, he's crazy about you. B, I think he's a little more financially stable. And there was a time in my life when I would have said, but who cares about money? That was a long time ago. But this one has a prospect of just being more stable. And he has what I would call honorable intentions towards you, which means he's more serious. He's somebody who would want to marry you or be in a long-term relationship. I tend to tell people, get the ring before you do. But I see a lot more potential with the other guy, the non-Aquarius, as we will call him. Because it just...
He asked me to marry him many, many years ago.
Yeah, he still wants that. Yeah, so excuse me while I pat myself on the back. Ow. And this card indicates, this is classically a card that's somebody from your past. It's a little boy giving a little girl a gold cup filled with flowers. So this is always somebody from your past coming back. I trust him. I don't really trust the other guy. I mean, it's not like I think he's a bank robber or anything, but I don't think he will treat you in the way you deserve. But I think he's exciting. But you know what? As we get more extraordinary, which is my way of saying, not quite as young as we used to be, as I get more extraordinary, I find that I value stability and someone who is there a lot more than I value excitement or somebody who, kind of makes me feel alive, but in the same way that I'd feel alive if I was like under fire. I don't think you're going to find a lot of stability with the Aquarius guy. I also don't think he's that capable of being faithful. And I think this other guy is. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. The last thing I'm going to add is that you are, I can't see you except with my heart, my mind's eye. But you're very attractive. I don't think you see yourself as that. I mean, I modeled for 10 years. I still don't, see myself as pretty. So it's hard for women. This culture, it makes it hard for us to accept our own beauty. But you're a very attractive woman. And you have a lot more power in relationships than you give yourself credit for. So if you kind of just cut off the Aquarius guy, it might be a good test of seeing how serious he is. Just cut him off for a couple weeks. You can block his number, or you can just not answer him. I know that's hard, but there's a reason why playing hard to get, I'm making air quotes here, is a cliche. It's a cliche because it works. It works with every species, not just humans. So cut him off for a little while. And I would explore your opportunities with this other guy. And I would also, I think you're considering changing your job. I would concentrate on that and what makes you happy, because you have so much to give the world. So on that note, keep in touch. My name is Peri Lyons, P-E-1-R-I, like periwinkle, Lyons, L-Y-O-N-S. You're on Moonstruck. I'm here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. On Eastern Time. And just, call in whenever you feel like you need a boost. Because I think you have a really good year coming up. Cut off the Aquarius for a couple weeks. Let me know what happens. Trust me.
Okay.
Before I got engaged this time, I was good at this. So I know what I'm talking about. But also psychically, I like the other guy better. And you know what? You really deserve, you personally, you deserve the absolute best, because you give so much to everybody else. All right, bless you. I'll see you next week. Oh, I want to show you my ring really quickly, guys. I just got engaged, and this ring is from Sant Bellatrix. You can find her on the Instagram, but I hope you like it. So there you go. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Big love and blessings. Mwah!